Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're diving deep into a phone that boasts some pretty impressive specs for its price, the AOZVEIZ 15 Pro Max. This device promises a flagship experience on a budget, but does it deliver? Let's find out. Right out of the box, the 15 Pro Max feels surprisingly substantial. The 6.8-inch HD Plus display dominates the front, and while it's not quite OLED quality, it's bright and vibrant enough for everyday use. The phone itself has a decent heft to it, which some might interpret as premium, while others might find a tad heavy. It comes with a protective case, screen protector, earphones, and even a stylus, which is a nice touch. Under the hood, we find a Dimensity 9010 core processor paired with 6GB of RAM and 256GB of internal storage. They've also thrown in a 128GB memory card, bumping the total storage to a whopping 384GB. Now, while 6GB of RAM might seem a little low by today's standards, performance in everyday tasks felt surprisingly smooth. I was able to multitask between apps, browse the web, and even do some light gaming without any noticeable lag. However, I suspect more demanding games might push this phone to its limits. The camera setup is another area where the 15 Pro Max tries to impress. A 108MP main camera and a 48MP front-facing camera sound fantastic on paper. In practice, the image quality is decent in good lighting conditions, but low-light performance is where it struggles. The images tend to get a bit noisy and lose detail. It's certainly not flagship camera quality, but it's acceptable for casual photography. One of the standout features of this phone is the massive 6,800 mAh battery. This thing is a beast and easily lasts a full day, even with heavy usage. If you're a light user, you might even be able to stretch it to 2 days. This is a huge plus for anyone who's constantly on the go. The 15 Pro Max runs on Android 13.0, which is a relatively recent version. The software experience is mostly clean, although there are a few pre-installed apps that you might not need. Thankfully, these can be uninstalled. It also supports 5G connectivity, dual SIM cards, and even has a dedicated microSD card slot, which is a welcome addition. You also get Face ID and a fingerprint sensor for security. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room, the price. This phone is incredibly affordable, especially considering the specs it offers. However, it's important to manage expectations. While it performs admirably in many areas, it's not a true flagship killer. There are compromises, particularly in the camera and RAM departments. So who's this phone for? The AOZVEIZ 15 Pro Max is a great option for budget-conscious consumers who want a large screen, long battery life, and decent performance for everyday tasks. It's not going to win any awards for photography or gaming prowess, but it offers excellent value for money. If you're looking for a reliable, affordable phone that can handle the basics, this one is definitely worth considering. Just don't expect a true flagship experience.
Check out the video description for updated price. And thank you for watching this video.